we are live on YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, we are reporting in on a tragic story about 8 passport bros that have been killed in the last 3 months in Colombia alone. But before I came live, I started doing a little bit of research, and I'm seeing they've been killed in Chile, in Chile. They've been killed in Philippines. They've been, of course, but see, what happened is they messed around and they killed an Asian American man. They killed an Asian American man. I'll pull his photo up right here. Unbelievable. This is the guy, the Asian American guy. He was killed in Colombia. They have gotten some suspects. I think they've arrested 4 people, right? But what happened is an American man was unalive, but I found out that black men have been getting unalive for years. But it wasn't until this guy got unalive that the story started going viral here in the U.S., right? But it's just, it's tragic. It's tragic. And so we're going to watch a few videos. We're going to look at some reactions and we're going to react to it live. But oops, my goodness. This is just sad, just plain old sad, just sad. So here, let's take a look at this. Let me get how are you all doing tonight? When I was looking at this, I mean, it's every parent's worst nightmare. And these people are putting themselves in harm's way unnecessarily. Why? Because they claim that they're looking for love, but the way that they're going about it is showing that they're not really looking for love, that they're looking for some rub-a-dub, and they are going out there and they're getting hemmed up. They're getting hemmed up. I'm not going to open the phone lines tonight because it's a little bit late. I want to get through the story because the video we're going to be watching is 25 minutes by itself. So I want us to be able to get through the video so that we can be able to why is my thing not showing up? What is going on? What's happening? I'm having some difficulties, but it says it's projecting. So I don't know what's happening. We're just going to have to continue to go forward. But so here, if you're ready, I am ready.
Tonight, an urgent warning for Americans visiting Colombia after a string of deaths in tourist hotspots. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota urging travelers not to use dating apps in the country, writing in a security alert that...
Let me start this again because the video for some reason is much larger than the screen. Let me get this here so that you all can see the full effect. All right.
Tonight, an urgent warning for Americans visiting Colombia after a string of deaths in tourist hotspots. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota urging travelers not to use dating apps in the country, writing in a security alert that criminals are using the sites to lure victims, with many U.S. citizens drugged, robbed, and even killed by their Colombian dates. Embassy officials confirming the deaths of at least 8 Americans traveling in Medellin, possibly linked to the apps.
I'm out of words to describe. I don't even know how I feel right now.
A situation all too familiar for the family of 50-year-old Xiong, an artist and activist from Minnesota who we first reported on last month. He had been traveling in Colombia in December when he called his brother out of the blue asking for money.
This time he was like, hey, do you have a couple of thousand? I was like, yeah, no problem. When do you want it? He said, I want it now. I'm in this bit of a situation here. I go, Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Xiong's family telling our Minneapolis affiliate soon after he stopped responding to their messages, he was found dead. A local prosecutor saying Xiong was kidnapped during a date and killed when he could not make the ransom payment, and that his body was found covered in stab wounds.
I was confused. To be honest with you, I don't know why, what the motive is.
Xiong had visited Colombia in the past, posting photos and videos to social media as recently as October with an unidentified woman.
I'm with my girl.
The embassy's alert indicated officials do not believe all 8 of the deaths are linked and said they've seen an increase in reports of incidents involving the use of online dating applications to lure victims, typically foreigners, for robbery by force or using sedatives to drug and rob individuals. Often the reports coming from major Colombian cities like Medellin, Cartagena, and Bogota. Murders of foreign visitors went up by 29% in the latter part of 2023 compared to the previous year, according to the embassy, and most of the victims were U.S. citizens. It's a popular destination for Americans who are big contributors to Colombia's tourism industry, making up nearly 30% of foreign travelers in the first half of last year. But behind that beauty, tragedy and unanswered questions for families like Xiong's, a case where no arrests have been announced, according to that local prosecutor. Loved ones are left to mourn from thousands of miles away.
And he'll draw everybody in. That's the type of people he is.
Okay. With that, Stephen Romo joins us. Stephen, so what kind of advice is the U.S. Embassy giving travelers? Because a lot of people travel to Colombia.
Yeah, a lot of people do, that's for sure. The advice actually applies to pretty much anywhere that you're dating when you find people online. A lot of it is if you meet a stranger, go to a public place. We hear that time and time again. Also, tell friends and family your plans, where you're going, details about the person, and even what app you used. This one, though, is more crime-oriented. They say don't resist physically if you are being robbed. They say people who do that, they are more likely to be killed. And also, importantly, in pretty much all situations, trust your instincts. If something feels off, just get away. But with all of these advisories and warnings out there, it might be a good idea just to put that phone down, stop swiping while you're visiting Colombia for a little bit.
Good advice, Stephen Romo. All right, man, we thank you for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news
Right.
and
Ooh,
top stories.
that's loud. That is. Sorry about that. That is loud. Okay, so while I was getting ready for this story, I was just clicking around and doing some research, and I found something that I want you all to see, because that's that video right there, but it gets a lot worse. So I want you to see how it's done, right? So this guy right here, he did a multiple part series, and he turned it into a drama and all of this other stuff about his incident. So let me just cue this up, because he had some stuff playing in the front that I know you all don't want to see. All right, let me just play this. Man, so what are your thoughts about this so far? See, because what happens is they think that they're going to go over to these other countries. Because, see, remember, there's a 30% uptick in these deaths since there's a 30% uptick. Oh, why can I talk? There's 118 foreigners dead in Medellin. Yvette, can you send me this information? Because when I was looking, I couldn't find that. So that's why I was looking around. I asked you to send it to me yesterday, or I don't know if that was you who said it, but I asked somebody to send it to me yesterday, and they did not. So let's get back. There's been a 29% uptick in deaths than the previous year at the same time. And so what happened is these guys think that they're going to be flaunting their passports on the internet, letting everybody know that they're coming over there with money to spend. And they're giving their whole motives, the playbook. We're coming over there with our passports. We're partying up. We're getting these girls. And then from what it is that I'm hearing, they're not even treating the girls well. They're trying to kick them downstairs. They trying to beat them up and taking their degeneracy over to another country. So remember, those ladies were in, where were they? Was it the Philippines that they were? That all of the, I think it was the Philippines, that they were coming out calling us hyenas or something like that. I don't even remember, but they were coming out talking all this junk about black women who were trying to warn them. So they went over there with their degeneracy, their bad minds, and their bad behaviors. And then they thought that they were going to be out there trying to get young girls and all of this other debauchery. And not only, so there are a few different types of men who were alerted to what these guys were doing over there, right? The men who saw how these guys were coming over and abusing the women, they were alerted. Two, them stick-up boys, they were alerted. And what they started doing is what we're going to see in this next video. So this guy, this is a true story from this guy's perspective, and he is not too embarrassed to put this on the internet. Another guy married a Colombian woman and then was texting some other young girl that he saw growing up, and then whatever it is that her father saw in those text messages, he started issuing death threats to the guy. There's just a lot of craziness going on. But this particular story, I want you to see how it's done here. Oh.
Her real name is Cecilia, but she goes by all different kinds of names on Tinder. This is her and her gang in an elevator after a successful robbery, in which they use scolopamine to drug the victim, which makes the victim sleep while they ransack the entire apartment, stealing.
So you see what's going on. These people don't care about your life. They're giving them a scolopamine. I've never even heard of this. I heard of ketamine and some of those other ones that we were covering in some other stories, but now they done found the drugs to knock these men out because they're like, oh, me man, me stronger than you. And you up there, you want to party, you got the bottle, you going to go look for some rubbers, they putting stuff in your drink. Next thing you know, you passed out, your laptop, your money, your watch, your kidneys, everything gone, everything. Well, I don't know about the kidneys, but that's next. That's next. But yeah, so let's just run that back.
Stealing all his value.
Yeah, let's just run that back just a little bit.
Which makes the victim sleep while they ransack the entire apartment, stealing all.
Let's hear that drug again because I want to hear what they, so we could be aware.
Drug the victim, which makes the victim sleep while they ransack after a successful robbery, and in an elevator after a successful robbery, in which they use scolopamine to drug the victim, which makes the victim sleep while they ransack the entire apartment, stealing all his valuables and all his belongings. They mainly operate in Medellin, but they do venture out to other cities in Colombia such as Cartagena, Bogota, Santa Marta. And so we set a trap and we found her. Only this time it didn't go as she planned. Her mistake was, about a month ago, she drugged and robbed an affiliate of Obiland TV in Cartagena. It is important to note that Camille and her gang have been sought all over Medellin, and from our investigations, she doesn't only target tourists but also Colombians. This is one of her accomplices. We got her too.
How old do you think this child is? How old do you think this, just take a look. Look at this child. How old do you think this child is? I mean, these people.
It is alleged that she poisoned an entire party of Colombians, stealing $20,000 in jewelry. This is not a person stealing out of necessity. This is a cold, ruthless predator.
So now they're calling her the predator. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
If you do a quick search on YouTube, you will find 1,001 horrific stories relating to Colombia and scolopamine. Just last week, an American was found dead in his apartment. It is suspected to be a scolopamine attack in where a higher dosage may have been used. October 6, 2022, just 2 weeks after.
You see what I'm saying? They don't care about your damn life. They giving you dosages that are taking you out this world. I mean, come on. How's my sound, you all? Let me know if it's good. So somebody says no more than 15 years old, 14 or 15, 13, 14. This is what I'm saying. This person looks so young. But they're going over there and now they're calling these young ladies the predators. It sounds like same to me. It sounds like they didn't met their match. That's what it sounds like. You were going over there trying to take advantage of someone and you got taken advantage of. From what I hear on the street, this is the rules of the game.
Drugging Signorio, Cecilia's with another victim. He's been drugged fast asleep like a baby, while Cecilia walks down the stairs casually taking his belongings. But wait, they haven't finished yet because they want to clean him out. And so they call a male accomplice and take all his luggages. Imagine the horror of waking up during your vacation and realizing you just lost everything. And so we're gonna find her and we're gonna set our own traps. So you think it's not worth it? We should lay down and take the L? Now just imagine it was your brother, your father, your sister who died from scopolamin. Will you take the L then? We did our research and we found Cecilia posing as Valeria looking for another.
Let me tell you, listen, this is how they're doing it. So you see, so this is what they're looking for when they go over. Look at the swipes, look at the swipes, look at the swipes. And then look, because they have their own men.
Everything. And so we're gonna find her and we're gonna set our own traps. So you think it's not worth it?
All they see, the face is not even shown. Face is covered up with a phone. All they see is a waist, some light skin, and some straight hair. Yeah.
You should lay down and take the L. Now just imagine it was your brother, your father, your sister who.
Look at, I just, this, come on. Just look at the swipes, look.
And take the L. Now just imagine it was your brother, your.
This is wifey right there. This wifey. You going over there looking for a wife? Huh? This is unbelievable. So.
Father, your sister who died from scopolamin. Will you take the L then? We did our research.
So nonetheless. So I think he's going to go on his little story of how he's going to try to find the young ladies and all this other stuff. You can watch that if you choose to. You can find the channel. Let's see. So there's some other things that I want to show you. Man. Let's take a look at some responses.
To drug and rob individuals. Often the reports coming from major Colombian cities like Medellin, Cartagena.
Because I think what feminism has, a lot of guys are just tired of
Bogotá. Murders of foreign visitors went up by 29% in the latter.
Appreciated in the United States, so they're looking for respect and love elsewhere. Because I think.
See, the thing is, are they looking for respect and love elsewhere? Why are they? And this young lady, her name is Priscilla Boye. I put her link in the description of this video.
And in terms of the passport bro thing, I think, alluding to what you said, I think a lot of guys are just tired of feeling unappreciated in the United States, so they're looking for respect and love elsewhere. Because I think what feminism has done is made men not inclined to provide as much. So it's okay, if I'm not appreciated in the U.S., I go provide for a woman elsewhere.
So are they providing? Did feminism, so listen to his statement, feminism made men not want to provide. Women having human rights. Women, what did feminism do? Why was feminism needed in this country? It's like they're not getting it. And what they're hoping is to be able to go to a place uncorrupted by human rights for women. Why was feminism needed? Why is feminism needed? Because women were being abused, women were being hurt, harmed. We still aren't getting equal pay. A woman couldn't open a bank account for real in this country until 1974 with the equal, with the, I forget the name of the act, but it took place in 1974, the Equal Banking Act, I believe it was called. It officially went on the books in the 60s that a woman could open a bank account without her husband's permission. Remember, women couldn't own property. They couldn't own land. Land could not be passed down to them. Why did women need feminism? Women getting human rights. Women getting recognized with equal protection under the law is making men feel unappreciated, that they need to go someplace else where women do not have full human rights. Women are human beings. Human beings do not want to be in servitude in the kitchen, slaving away, underappreciated, and not given full agency over her life. Come on.
Night, you want to take your passport and just sort of wiggle it around like this, sort of wave it around.
Hello, baby.
Muy rico.
So that's how they think it's going to go down. They want to walk around with their passport out. And so you're going to walk around with the passport and you're going to wave it and just be jiggling it, right? And so other people can see. And she takes it and she's like, hello, baby. But what's really going to happen? What's really going to happen is boom. And then the next thing you know, your watch is off your wrist, your wallet's out your pocket, and your kidneys are out your body. I mean, come on. You're going to walk around flapping your passport. This is what they're really doing. This is what they're really doing.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Te gusta?
Me gusta. Me gusta más.
¿Más?
Más.
¿Todo?
Todo.
¿Todo para ti?
Sí.
I'm in Mexico right now, and now I'm a believer about the woman here. American woman and Mexican woman are not the same. They're completely different. Bro, it's almost like they're different tribes. Most girls you see in LA are like, oh, I'm a queen, boss, bee, and they're not even that cute. Here, I swear, I'm not joking. Girls are like 8, 9s, and 10s, and you guys know I don't like to use numbers, but you know what I mean. And they are super proud. They're super, and we're proud, I mean, just like they carry themselves. They're super warm-hearted. They open. They're not as...
So you as a foreigner in another country who don't know anybody, see, it's the novelty of it. You're in a new place, meeting new people, and it's novel. And you're like, oh, they're so this, they're so that. They don't know you. Wait until they get to know you and you get to know them. Because we're hearing the stories already when they get sick of y'all's asses. Oh, please.
Bougie, they're not arrogant. And the biggest thing, they don't care about having intimacy with so many people to chase validation. They still believe in love. I didn't completely believe it when people said, oh, they're so different. They are so different. They are way easier to be around. Try it out for yourself. The Western social media culture brainwashed these young girls into, yeah, girl, you a boss bee, and they need to learn how to handle you. What do you mean handling you? This is supposed to be a relationship. This is not a battlefield.
Ask Maria what she thinks about American men.
Depende del extranjero.
Okay,
depende, porque hay extranjeros que depende de la ciudad, depende si son blancos o negros. No es por racismo, no es racismo, pero son muy diferentes. Los hombres blancos, Estados Unidos son hombres más respetuosos, más caballeros. Los hombres negros son más... No, son más, sí, suave, sí. Suave. Ay, pero me encanta. Dios mío.
This has got a lot of people.
Hold on. This girl said...
Los más caballeros. Los hombres negros son más... No, son más, sí, suave, sí. Suave. Ay, pero me encanta.
I fall for guys who cheat, and she's sitting there laughing. This is what it says. I fall for guys who cheat. So this is what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to be okay with their cheating.
Unaliving the passport bros down in Colombia. So it's come to my attention that they are unaliving the passport bros down in Colombia. So let me just make sure I have this straight, Demarius. You thought that you was gonna take your ass down to South America on a flight powered by misogynoir to go sexually exploit the locals, and there wouldn't be no consequences. You just really thought you was gonna go like scout a wife maybe to bring back, and you could further shit on black women and live your life happily ever after, and nobody was gonna say nothing and nothing was gonna happen to you. And here's the thing, when the unthinkable does happen, do you think the Popo in Colombia is going to waste time and resources trying to figure out what happened to your black ass? Sound like Big Mama and them gonna be having a memorial with no body and no answers. How dreadful.
That is sad.
Remember a few weeks ago I told y'all that 24 was going to be the year of action and reciprocity and things are going to be exposed? This fuck around and find out season. Now, I don't want anybody to lose their lives. Well, that's not true. I don't want most people to lose their lives. But this... what you want me to say?
Do not use dating apps if you're visiting Colombia. This new warning comes after 8 American tourists have died under mysterious circumstances.
Cut the bullshit. It was not under mysterious circumstances. Let's call it how it is. They were there for sex workers. They went to a totally different country in order to get sex with possibly underage girls or girls who are just above the consenting age. Yes, passport bros are not any angels. They went there in order to get something. Can we stop this narrative? Yes, can we stop of painting Colombia as the violent place that it was back in the 80s, almost 40 years ago? Yes, Colombia is a dangerous place. So is the States. It's been 8 people. You wanna know how many people this happens to in the States? More than 16,000 abductions and thousands and thousands of SA assaults. They don't even have a specific number because there are thousands and thousands of cases. I understand maybe your video was in an informative way, but you're literally painting a whole country just for 8 cases when there are more than 16,000 cases that happen in the US. It is dangerous for Americans. It is dangerous for Americans. Yeah, everybody's dangerous. There are bad people everywhere. Just stop. Just stop. Cut the bullshit and call it how it is. This man, grown man, went there to find young women because usually in Latin America, especially Colombia, the consenting age is way lower than in the States. So they go there to get young women who are in vulnerable places, who literally have to sell their bodies in order to survive, just for them to feel their fantasy and their sexual necessities. And when the outcome is negative, then we are the bad ones. We are the bad ones because we didn't treat the pedophiles and the perverts with respect, because they respect us so much. What?
This was my point right here. It might have gotten misconstrued, but it's a sad situation all around. These men died. They might have families, children, I don't know their situations. However, let's use our common sense, is all I'm saying. You're going to another country where you probably don't speak the language to meet strangers off the internet you've never seen before in private places. Like, I wouldn't even do that in the States. And somebody said this in the comments, you can get got in the States. Like, you can be a lick in the States. But with your income in another country where the dollar's worth way more, you're that much more of a lick. So you've got to be safe. That's my point. We don't want to hear about more of y'all on the news because you didn't take precaution. Use your common sense, fellas. And ladies too, because I'm hearing y'all going to Jamaica to find some men and they getting green cards off y'all. Hey, listen, I gotta do some research. I'll get back to you.
Hold on, I gotta take this music off the screen. Look, laid up in the bed. Wow, did you see that girl trying to cover her face? She probably is underage. Look. So he's taking his video laid up in the bed. And look at this girl is covering her face. She doesn't want to be on the damn camera. Life in Cartagena, Colombia with beautiful single women. She's a worker of the night, and she looks like she's 13. Look at the chub on her face. Just look at her chubby cheeks. Look. Do you see her? Do you see the chubby cheeks right here? And look at him. This is unbelievable. This is sad. Real sad. Showing legs and stuff. This is... All right, the music has stopped.
It's getting wild out there. And it's been wild for these PP bros for a couple of years now. We keep seeing these stories in the headlines where these Americans go to these foreign countries and they get robbed or worse. And this article is an or worse situation. The Colombian authorities are investigating the mysterious death of Johnny Jerome, who was found in a jacuzzi. An American man identified as Johnny Jerome was found deceased in his suite in Provincia lofts on Tuesday morning in Medellin, Colombia. The victim had been in the country for 2 days to celebrate his birthday and went out with his cousin on Monday. They met two women while out and returned to the room with them around 3:30 a.m. The women left around 5:30. Jerome's cousin remained in the living room drinking while he went to sleep and then found him inside the jacuzzi in the morning. I still do not understand going to a foreign country, going partying, and then bringing random strangers back to your place.
It's more than just about partying, and you have to understand the ego of men who think that they are invincible, and they put themselves in very vulnerable positions. You cannot get any more vulnerable than when you are attempting to have an organ. You can't get any more vulnerable than that. And so they're putting themselves in vulnerable positions because they think that these people are stupid. But you're the one who's really stupid, because stupidity can be an act. They, like that girl laughing, I choose men who cheat. So that's like catnip. They're like, ooh, she's okay with a cheating man. So then the next thing you know, he's like, yeah. He thinks that he's going to have easy access to go and mistreat her. And then the switchblade comes out. Or the scolopapine, whichever comes first, doggone it. Whichever comes first.
So many of these people are being taken out simply because they are leading with their peen, period. And the women of these countries know that they are being led with their peen. This is Johnny. I don't know what his motives were for taking these women back to his room, but he ultimately paid the price, and hopefully his family gets some answers.
Hold on. She only showed the picture of one of the guys. Let me show the picture of the other one. Because she showed the picture of Johnny Jerome. Let me show the picture of the other man. Because it's unfortunate. Here's the other guy who was unalive recently in Colombia. This right here is 59-year-old Gregory Stewart Owens. He was looking for love in Colombia when he was gunned down in the streets of Cartagena during a robbery, October 2023. He was looking for love in all the wrong places, apparently. And it's more, one after another. This is Johnny Jerome right there. And these are the pictures that they're putting up, besmirching black women. Look, they run into Colombia because all these obese black women is running behind them. They unfit. And look, they yelling, they hollering. Look at the big old bellies on them. Even a little baby is down there in the corner running after Pop. And look at him. He's slim and with his bespoke suit on and his pocket watches, multiple of them apparently, with the bulge in the front because he's packing, angry face with the suitcase, walking. Why are all of these women at the damn airport? What type of fantasy is this? So all of these people are traveling, or how did they get into the airport to get here where you are? And how do they know where you're going or what you're doing? Why are they screaming and running after you? This is the mind that they are using AI to create these dumbass images. Look at this foolishness. So these men are so dumb that they think that women are different depending on where it is that you go. People are people. We are governed by our soul, and everybody who has any amount of self-awareness wants to live a self-actualized life. They want to develop their soul. But these men are looking for a maid. They want to go and bring some cheap bubblegum ring, something from the mall, one of them little costume jewelry shops, because they think she ain't going to know no better to go and get the gem inspected. They bringing over one of them bubblegum rings or charm, something off a charm bracelet to put on her finger so that he could bring her over and have a maid. That's if he's even marrying her. Just coming over to get some servitude and being like, oh, we got to wait on the marriage. We got to wait. Unbelievable. They're admitting that they leave their children behind. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, you see the child. Look at. I just want you to look at the child's face, please. I just want you to see that the child is crying, and this is his fantasy. His fantasy is to have the baby running, falling over itself, trying to get to Dada. I don't get it. I don't see how some people can be so degenerate. So that was one of the other images that we had available. And there's other stories. Calling him Kevin Hart. He does kind of look a little Kevin Hartish in the face. There are other stories. Here, let me show you a story that let me show you a story of another guy. Just sad. Just Oh, hold on. It's in my other browser. We have to take our movement break. We haven't moved yet. And we've been on here for 42 minutes. All right, let's take our movement break. They're looking for someone they can cheat on. Of course, that's what they're looking for. Let's go ahead. Let us. Whew. How are you all doing out there? I think we're going to get some. Let's look for some reggae music. Let's get the party started. And let's look for something. With a high beat. Let's look for something with a nice fast beat. Let's see, high tempo. Let's see. Let's try something different. What is this? Wait a minute. This is not the reggae I know. What's happening here? Let's look at the genre. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we're working with. You know what? Listen, it's cool. Let's make it nice and cool. You don't have to do an entire workout. It's late, but you can just move from side to side, right? Side to side, side to side, right? Side to side, right? Side to side, right? You can do that, right? Right? That's not asking too much, right? Right? back in 2 minutes. Just stretch your side body. Just move from side to side. And if you can, just bend your back and just stretch. Just stretch wherever you bend. Just stretch, okay? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. We'll be back in 2 minutes. have, let's see what we have. Happy, restless, busy, and frantic, eccentric, relaxing. Let's see what some relaxing reggae sound like. Let's see what some relaxing, let's see. Oh, they want to put us to sleep now. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Right. Oh, let me make sure the apples. Oh, there's some apples that have come in. Let me check the apples. That horn is talking to me. Is that horn talking to you? All right. So, the first apple is from J. Ebony, and she sends $10 and says, "Go where you're accepted, not where you're tolerated." Well, are they accepting them in Cartagena? Because they are welcoming them with open arms, all right. Crystal sends $5 and says, "For providing the guidance I've always needed." Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And so are you all ready to get back into the story? Let me check the, make sure that the PayPal is checked. Give me 1 second, you all. All right, let's see. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful. I like that. I like that. All right, the PayPals are checked. Okay, so let us jump back into the story. Where were we? We were talking about the one guy, and then there's another guy. There's another guy, right? This is sad, and I don't know if this person is a passport bro or not. He was a lawyer. He was in Chile, right? This guy right here. So, New York City lawyer shot dead while vacationing in Chile, right? And so I don't know if he was a passport bro or not, but when I was looking up the story, I found that this was another guy who had lost his life overseas. Give me a second. I need to get my screen up. Okay. Okay, so it says here, according to his family, a New York lawyer who had been missing for more than a week was shot dead during a vacation in Chile. Eric Garvin, 38, last seen on January 14th in Santiago, the country's capital, was fatally shot on his way to dinner in what appeared to be a random attack, his father announced on Facebook. This is the darkest chapter of our lives, and they show images of him. Missing Ohio architect killed in Mexico with fiance. Oh my gosh. It's getting very, 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 very real out there. I had seen this is a sad, 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 sad story. Parents losing their children. This is sad. And it was another story that I had come across, and it was equally shocking, disturbing, sad. It was of a guy. Let me pull up his here. Here's another guy, right? American found dead inside rented room. This is in what in I'll read because this is like I said, I was when I was searching for the stories, I was just stunned by all of the ones that I was seeing. Let me make this a little smaller. This is okay. This is from 2022. A foreign national was found dead inside his rented room in Sitio Calamaboan, Barangay, Campantu, Cebu City on Wednesday morning. Master Sergeant Alexander Torado of the Albena Police Station identified the victim as Deshawn Dixon. Oh, this is the black guy. Deshawn Dixon, an American. He said they received a call about a dead body, but they only found out that it belonged to a foreigner when police and members of this on the scene of the crime operations arrived to see the scene. Dixon had a cut in the nape of his neck. Wow. She said the houseboy noticed a foul smell while sweeping the premises on Monday, but he ignored it. When she woke up Wednesday, the stench had gotten so bad, prompting her to call the police. Wow, that was Deshawn Dixon. I thought this article would have had a picture of him, but when you search on YouTube for him, there are a few people who spoke about him, right? But not, it didn't really get the, here, if we search for Deshawn Dixon, you'll see that there's a few, so I'm just searching for him so you can see his photograph. Come on, where's it not? Deshawn Dixon, what's happening? Why is it not? What's happening to my internet? Oh, there we go. So there's a few articles about him. There's his image right there. But this is just sad, or it's just sad. But other than that, other than a few articles, here's one, a few vloggers talking about him. So it's like you go over, you lose your life, and then you just, I don't want to say that you're erased, but there's no parade, there's no marching band, there's no symphony. It's just your family getting a phone call and your body coming back in a box. This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. Somebody saying those women love bad guys. Okay, well, not really too sure what you're referring to, but okay. So nonetheless, let's get back to the video that we were watching. And she's talking about the tragedy that's happening overseas. The volume on her video is a little low, so you're going to have to turn it up.
So there's an article in the Wall Street Journal that came out this week. And basically, in the last 2 months, like at least 8 passport bros, Americans, at least 8 Americans looking for love in Colombia have been unalived in the last 2 months. So the US Embassy is investigating it, right? And what they're saying is that some of the deaths are suspicious. American men were found dead in their hotel rooms or rented apartments after outings with local women. So apparently they're being invited out by these local women that they meet on the dating websites, and the women are robbing them, or in some cases, unaliving them. And it's gotten so bad that the U.S. Embassy actually issued like a...
She's smiling, but I don't think that this is funny. You know, some of these people are terrible, terrible people, but death is permanent. There's no coming back from that. And for that, I think that this is truly a tragedy. You know, but you know, I know there's going to be some people that don't care. It is what it is.
Alert. So the mayor of one of the towns said something pretty interesting. He basically said that he does not want people to come to Colombia if they're just coming for the sex and the drugs. And I think that a lot of people actually just think of Colombia as like this like red light district because sex work is legal in Colombia. So he basically said anyone who thinks they can come here for that, sex and drugs, tourism, we don't want them. And I kind of agree with him, right? So RIP to the men that lost their lives and condolences to their families. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this?
So this video is going to be to bring awareness to a huge problem that is going on in Colombia and for passport bros to keep an eye out. So one of the times that I was down there, I rizzed up one of the hotel receptionists of a hotel that I was staying at, and we went out on a couple dates. So she asked me, why do so many old white men come here looking for young children? So she told me that because of this, many old white men from America traveled there just because of this reason. So she started telling me about a bunch of experiences that happened there.
Hold on. I got to go back to the reason. The Crime Criminal Code Act modified the age of consent at 14, regardless of gender or sexual orientation.
Of this reason.
Somebody said that girl looked 15.
So she started telling me about a bunch of experiences that happened there at the hotel where I was staying at. And I was in disbelief. So she was saying that there was currently some old businessman from America that was there, when I was there. So, and what's crazy is the next day, I actually saw it with my own eyes.
Y'all remember the passport bros?
So his story just ends there. There's no confrontation. There's no, man, you know that ain't right. So he's just telling some story. Okay, so he saw it with his own eyes. What did you do? What did you say? Oh my gosh.
The one that disrespect black women in America, saying they're going to go to all these other countries and find submissive wives because black women ain't shit. Well, guess what, passport bros? Y'all are getting unalived in these other countries. 8 passport bros killed in Colombia in the past 3 months. A growing number of men are traveling to foreign countries to meet submissive women who are less expensive and not too demanding. The term passport bros first appeared on TikTok and refers to men who use dating apps for hookups with women in other countries. Authorities say at least 25 passport bros were unalived in Medellin, Colombia in 2023. 4 Americans were unalived in Medellin in November alone. This is 59-year-old Gregory Stewart Owens, who was looking for love in Colombia when he was gunned down in the streets of Cartagena during a robbery in October 2023. Owen was robbed of all his belongings, including his watch and a gold chain around his neck. Owen's family finally received his body in Tennessee 2 weeks after he was unalived. This is Jerome. He was 45 and was found dead in a jacuzzi in a luxury hotel suite in Medellin on November 2nd. He was unalived the day after celebrating his birthday with a cousin and 2 women he met on a dating app. Philip Mullins, a 32-year-old Tennessee man, was found dead in a room at the upscale 1 Million Suites Hotel in Medellin after a night out with a woman. And Minnesota comedian, I do not want to butcher his name, a high school valedictorian, was found dead on December 11th in a ravine after he had met a woman for a date. He was 45 years old and was beaten to death with a blunt object. 4 people, including a minor, were arrested and charged for his murder. On November 13th, Texas resident Jeffrey Hudson, 55 years old, was found dead in his hotel room with at least 20 stab wounds in his neck. Hudson was killed after returning to his hotel suite with an 18-year-old woman he met on a dating app in Medellin. The U.S. State Department has issued a...
So the man was 55. The girl was 18, allegedly. And he ended up with 20 stab wounds in his neck.
Warning to avoid using dating apps to meet women in foreign countries. Men are being warned not to book Airbnbs and hotels in isolated locations in Mexico and Colombia. And then there's Carlos, who luckily made it out alive after being drugged and robbed after going on a date with a woman from Colombia. I know there's a collective "we told you so" coming out of the black woman community. I can tell you that much. Y'all are going over there looking for submissive wives, and they are setting you up with their non-submissive men. Hey, yeah, maybe stay your asses home. Just saying. Anyway, what are you guys having for dinner? I'm having meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
The comedian was kidnapped and murdered while on a date in Medellin, Colombia last.
I'm not impressed. As a Colombian, we've been telling y'all so many times to stop going to Colombia for sex tourism. Honestly, I lost all empathy for passport bros. And I'm not trying to start any controversy, but I love how this dude decides to describe this man, this 50-year-old man who used to fly to Colombia just to have sex with 19, 21, and 20 years old. As an activist, as an angel, as a person who helps so many immigrants from his country in the States. I'm not denying anything he has done to the community. Good for him. But do not paint the situation as, oh, this poor American.
Yeah, so you know what? I see somebody is saying it in the comments what I was thinking. We don't care anymore. They need to leave. She's like, y'all need to stay y'all asses home. No. Let's find someplace safe for them to go so that they can go. Look, I want them to go and get married off to the women that they say that they want to get married off to. I don't want them staying here. No, let them go. And she was like, y'all need to stay y'all asses home. What? You see, so there's a set of women who are like concerned about them going overseas and finding these women. And then there's another set of women who's like, please, bruh, let me help you pack. You need some extra socks and underwear? We could go on down to Conway's and get you some. Come on now. I know, but 20 in the neck? The neck ain't but so big. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Outside and he fell in love. No, he was looking for a 20-year-old to take advantage of. He almost tripled her age, just so you know. So, no, I do not feel bad for a pervert who only went to Colombia for sexism and got murdered in the process. Now, there's bad people everywhere. But don't try to follow this propaganda about how everywhere in Latin America is dangerous and how you too can get murdered in broad daylight. And as so many Americans like to say, fuck around and find out.
Passport bros are...
That's really interesting that this guy, he wants to be the face of Colombian morality. And he is talking about how he has no empathy. You're showing that even the person in Colombia that is talking about how moral he is look, go ahead.
So many Americans like to say, fuck around and find out.
Passport bros are currently in the phase of fuck around, and soon they will be in the phase of find.
Here's the thing, you never want to be saying I told you so when people are being unalived, because it's not funny when people are losing their lives. I'll go back to that video where I was talking about how my uncle, he was a passport bro, and he had, whether it was actually the accuser, I don't know, because I don't talk to this uncle. He was like ostracized from the whole family. But anyways, go watch that video, and then go to the comments and see all the men telling me that I'm wrong. That it's safe, that they're going to the wrong countries, and then they start listing all the countries that they should be going to. And this is what I mean. It's arrogance. It's blind trust. You just think that you can victimize women and other countries, that nobody in those countries would take advantage. The fact that you think you're smarter than them. My thing is this isn't going to stop in one country. Do you think men of other countries take what men from Western countries are doing to their women, the women that where they live? Do you think they take that kindly? The men?
And then so that's the thing. That's the thing right there. So it's like, okay, so let me just wind that back.
You can victimize women and other countries, that nobody in those countries would take advantage.
So that's the thing. You're in a country where you don't speak the language. You're in a country where you don't speak the language. There was a guy who had he got married actually to a woman from Colombia. And this is the guy right here. He started getting death threats. And barely escaped Colombia with his life, right? So this is the guy, and he's talking about the death threats at this point.
It had to end up in this situation. I'm gonna be. I just think that due to an unfortunate series of events, it had to end up in this situation. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I started smoking weed again. You know, everything with the business when I handled this in-house, but it was these outside influences and this man who felt the need to protect her, even against her own husband, and tried to impose his authority and his point of view in our relationship. And that's.
You know what I just thought about? I just thought about the two sides of the coin. So you're an American man going over to a country where the women are super submissive to the men. Why are the women super submissive to the men? They're super submissive because of an imbalance of power. So now this guy, he got married to a Colombian woman. He's divorced now, but he barely escaped with his life because those same machismo hombres, those same macho men exerted their power over him to protect the women of that culture. So these men who are looking for submissive women, there's a counterpart to that of men who are domineering. So this guy is talking about how he got these death threats and Let me see if I can find where he's talking about weird. Let's see. I think this is the part here. Let's see.
It's the one that's causing this whole entire issue, right? I'm never gonna bad talk my wife. I don't think she's a bad person at all. I just think that due to an unfortunate series of events and his point of view in our relationship, and that's the one that's we're trying to handle this in-house, but it was these outside influences and this man who felt the need to protect her even against her own husband and tried to impose his authority and his point of view in our relationship. And that's the one that's causing this whole entire issue, right? I'm never gonna bad talk my wife. I don't think she's a bad person at all. I just think that due to an unfortunate series of events, it had to end up in this situation. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I started smoking weed again.
He's going into some about how stressed out he was, and just look. So his story sounded a little bit fishy to me. Let me look for the part that sounded a little fishy. Let me see. Okay, here.
And then she took it to the point where, she brought other people in and then the death threats and all that stuff and X, Y, and Z. So it just kind of blew up into this whole entire thing. So a lot of people have asked me, what were the events that led up to them sending me the death threats? So with this particular family, right, I'm not going to name any names. Over the last 2.5 years in Manizales, I developed a very beautiful friendship with the daughter of the family, right?
The daughter of the family. Listen. How he watched her grow up. Listen.
I've seen her grow and I've seen her, really mature into a very smart, intelligent person. We've had really deep conversations. We've cried together. We've played basketball together. When I came to Medellin, I texted her on Instagram and I just said hey, look, I wanted to talk to you because, I'm going to miss you a lot. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to say bye because I think my wife and I were going to separate. And here are kind of the reasons why. And she was telling me her reasons why I shouldn't do it and everything. And I'm just like, look, I'm not here to argue or anything. I'm just saying that this is my position and this is what's going to happen. And I'm sorry. And her father, who has the password to all of her social media, saw the conversation, found out. And that's when I got the death threat.
What? Where's the receipts of what exactly was said in these DMs? That's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Where are the receipts? Because he's talking a good game. Yeah, okay. All right. So these dominant men, that sounded a little fishy to you all, right? Same to me. So these dominant men in these other societies are seeing how these men are behaving, and they're not liking it, and they're exerting their power over these males.
The fact that you think you're smarter than them.
That's the thing. He's talking about, I became friends with the daughter of the family. I've seen her grow over the past 2 years. How much could she have grown over 2 years? That you've seen her mature and now you're crying together and she's so intelligent. That sounds like the words that I've heard groomers say. Like when we saw that documentary on that young lady, she was a little girl and the man was telling her how mature she was and all this other stuff. That's what that sounds like to me. Dun, dun, dun.
My thing is this isn't going to stop in one country. Do you think men of other countries take what men from Western countries are doing to their women, the women where they live? Do you think they take that kindly? The men in these situations have only factored in women. Fail to realize that the women in other countries have families and men from those countries that are interested in being with them. So you're taking their option. As a Canadian who's traveled internationally, if you're an American traveling internationally, there's a lot of places that don't take kindly to Americans. I don't mean anything rude by that. It's just a reality that if I travel internationally and then people find out I'm from Canada, not from the US, I get treated very differently. Just a lot of things that passport bros fail to consider because they think they're smarter than everyone else. But it's not actual intelligence, it's hubris.
Oh, remember this? We covered this story. Remember we covered this story. Let me move it down so we can see.
Actual intelligence. It's hubris.
Remember, we covered this story, the passport bro that got sentenced to death. Yes, we covered that.
Well, how do y'all think Big Poe feel about this, huh? I always tell y'all what, ladies? A man cannot disrespect women and think that there is no consequences. Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, Tory Lanez, we got a passport bro who's sentenced to death in China. This is remarkable. They think a passport means freedom for degradation of other women in other countries because women in the United States, they're not good enough. Y'all think women in America ought to get y'all for y'all 50 cents. Y'all flipped the 50 cent, tripled it 3 times, made it $1.50, and then went over there and got sentenced to death. Y'all ain't reading no laws. Your black skin barely making it in America, let alone another country.
We've already talked about passport bros. They're often predatory nature. They're blatant incompetence that prevents them from understanding how dating in the rest of the world actually works, which makes them believe they can bring crumbs to foreign women and they'll settle for it. Not to mention the way racial dynamics work in other countries, etc. Trying to lecture this woman about the harm of stereotypes when he himself is only in her country because he believes stereotypes about soft and submissive Asian women. Digressing. Putting all that aside, passport bros are also a great demonstration of what it looks like when you blame everyone else for your problems whilst refusing to look in the mirror. Listen, I'll be the first to agree that dating is difficult, and honestly, in terms of finding someone you truly mesh with and complement versus trading a person for property, royalty, or goats, I think it always has been. But if you are finding dating so difficult that you
Wait a damn minute. Look at the way this girl. I'm happy somebody's getting married.
To look in the mirror. Listen, I'll be the first to agree that dating is difficult. And honestly, in terms of finding someone you truly mesh with and complement,
I want you to look at her body language when she's in the car, how she's leaned away from him while he's leaned in.
Versus trading a person for property, royalty, or goats,
You see her
I think
face?
it always has been. But if you are finding dating so difficult that you have to flee to another country in a way that is so unnatural and intentional that you are part of a named collective group, meaning you're specifically moving for said reason, not because you've fallen in love with another culture, the problem was, is, and always will be you. Because all passport bros want is a traditional relationship. And again, we know the real reason why they're going abroad, and we've
Let them go. Listen, don't up the game. Let them go.
is and always will be you. Because all passport bros want is a traditional relationship. And again, we know the real reason why they're going abroad, and we've seen how they actually cannot handle the male role in a traditional relationship, but just entertain it for a moment. They exist here. There are plenty of men in relationships with traditional women right now who cook for them, who clean for them, who make their house a home, will carry their children, and in their own words, submit to them. There are plenty of women here in America who would jump at the chance to have a man of integrity, intellect, principle, to be the leader of their home. So if they're not jumping at that chance with you,
Is this person human or AI? You can't even tell nowadays, but I'm stunned.
chances are the problem is you. Chances are you're not creating the necessary dynamic for that to occur. Chances are you're not as great of a traditional man as you think.
Here's my 3 tips to stay safe in Colombia. Number 1, make sure you don't drink with anybody that you don't know. If you go to the bathroom, do not leave your drink unattended. Make sure that you drink it all, or better yet, just get a new drink. Number 2, do not walk around in the middle of the night. You don't know the place, you don't know the area, so why are you doing it? You shouldn't even do it in the States. Number 3, do not invite random people to your Airbnb or to your hotel, especially if you don't know them or if you just met them. I don't care how hot the girl is, don't invite random people to your Airbnb. Especially if all your stuff is just around, like laptops, cameras, money, you're going to be robbed.
This whole passport bro thing is not new. I remember when I was younger, there would be uncles who would come back home to Ghana to bring women.
So listen, what are your thoughts on all of this that we're seeing? I'm stunned personally. I'm stunned, but you know what? So you all know who she is? Is she a human? Oh, okay. AI is her shtick. Okay, listen, you can never tell nowadays because they have AI influencers now. So I know that the technology is going to get good enough that see, it's see, some people are saying she's human, some people are saying she's AI. So I don't know, but listen, support the girl's original video Priscilla Boyer. She curated most of the videos that we saw tonight, so you can check her link in the description. But yeah, somebody saying stay your ass in America and make it work? Nope. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Please, let them go. You know what? I'm going to get your thoughts on this. We may do no, I don't think we'll be able to do a call-in show because I have a bunch of meetings and stuff tomorrow, and I have to write a speech that I'm doing. I'm doing a speech on, the title of my speech is Most Men Cheat, or at least they want to. And it's about the evolutionary science behind men's preference for new women, novel women. So yeah, that's the speech I'm giving tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Listen, Supreme, let them go, let them go, let them go. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a little movement break. So I want you to get up out of your seat. We're just going to, you know what? I'm going to check for some, should we do Afro beats or some reggaeton? I never liked the beats of reggaeton. It just sounds so boom, 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 boom. But, you know, people loved it. So let me look and see what Afro beats we can pull up. So listen, I want you to get up out of your seat, right? I want you to get up out of your seat and just, or if you're laying down in the bed, I understand. All you have to do is just pull your leg behind you, stretch your arm over your head. The most important part is that you are in the intention of staying flexible. That's a little too crunchy for me. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay, she uses AI. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. What's this? Come on. Oh, real smooth. All right, come on. Listen. Stretch. Let me see what we have here. Let's speed it up just a little. Here. Oh, I see what's happening. Hold on. Let me. Here, hold on. Let's see. It's 2 a.m. in Brazil and you're watching. Okay. Well, Perla, if you're in Brazil, I know you like to dance. So you can get up at 2 a.m. if you so choose. So all you have to do is just get a little stretch. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Just stretch everything that you can think of. Pull up the back of your foot. Stretch your hamstring. I'm not your hamstring, your quads. Hey. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I am. All right, so let's check this Apple's. Oh, we have Ashley that sends through $5 and says, Bon Voyage passport. He says, Bon Voyage passport. I know that's right. Listen. Sayonara. See you later, babe, because I ain't stressing. I want them to go be happy. Go be happy. Go be happy. All right. So, let me see your comments. What are your thoughts on all of this? Let's see. Somebody is... Man. It's sad. It's sad. Let's see your comments. Personally, me, I think it's a bad tactic. I think it's a bad tactic to think that you know the women of another country better than the men of that country. And then to think that you're going to be able to mistreat them, mishandle them, use them, abuse them, and those sorts of things, because these men are going over there acting up. I'm telling you, they're over there acting up. And I'm going to show you some footage of some of these men and how they're behaving. They are over there absconding with the intercourse, setting a price beforehand, and then trying to change the price after, bringing other men in on it, and just doing the same degeneracy that they're doing over here, except worse, because now they're in another country and they think that they're in another man's patriarchy and they can act however and do whatever it is that they want, but they don't realize you're in another man's patriarchy. You're in another man's patriarchy. All right. So, it's a little late. Let's see if we can find some jazz. I know you all wanted to listen to some jazz yesterday, but there's so many different types of jazz. There's classic jazz, acoustic, there's funk jazz. Let me see if they have any romantic jazz. Let's see. I don't see any romantic jazz. What's going on? There's Latin jazz, nostalgia. I want some romantic jazz. Let's see. Here's some smooth jazz. Let's see what smooth jazz is like. Let's see what the smooth jazz is doing and saying. Let's see. It sounds like bossa nova. All right. Oh, Perla thinks I'm gorgeous and intelligent. Thank you. Oh, this is easy listening right here. All right, let's try something else. Let me love you down. All right. I know for a fact they will continue getting hurt. The local men will protect the women. They're not just going to let them take their options. Well, the women that they're going over there looking at are more times than not, they're street workers. So they're going out there into the street worker lifestyle, and they're getting caught up with the men who are protecting that clan. These men are not going over in earnest. Listen, there are matchmaking companies that you can pay a grip and really find somebody who is truly, truly looking to settle down. But a lot of these men are just looking for JJ. I want everyone's opinion. While the opportunity is up, listen. It was reported that they got off the airplane and were immediately accosting women at the airport. Oh my God, where is that report? Show me the report, because that sounds absolutely bonkers. So they get off at the airport and they're like, hey ma, hey, Sade, they're grabbing women's hands as they passing by. Unbelievable. One of them probably got caught messing up with some man's daughter. I mean, every woman is a man's daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, $1 million, instead of putting their comment, they've decided to just play in my live. And now your comments are removed from the screen. You won't be able to have your comments seen on screen again during this broadcast. Come back another day. Street workers are connected to gangsters. The gangsters will continue to off them and rob them. My goodness. Stefan, I'm late. I'm at work. My back hurts. Is that from doing them little bit of exercises we were doing on the broadcast last night? There will be documentaries in the future. Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be. Yes, I do have a friend from the Philippines who married an older white Canadian man from where I'm from after she dated from her own to black and more. Okay. If you're not out there, you're not available. Complaints and games. I don't understand what that means. I left a beloved friendship and I replay the parts of your videos when it says, okay, when it says, choose you. Oh, okay, all right. You know what? Send me the clip that you find helpful and I'll turn that into a short. I feel like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I finally choose me. I chose me. Yes, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. All right. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and sum up our self-love lessons from today's video because there's a lot of self-love lessons in this for us today. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be adding at the end after you give yours. I'll give you my self-love lesson. You said you did the arm dances. I saw that. My shoulder is one of my shoulders is weaker than the other shoulder. I don't know what's going on. I might need to go to the doctor and have it looked at. Oh my goodness. So yes, come on, type SLL. Let's get the self-love lesson. Let me get some faster music for the self-love lessons. Let me look for some rock music. Let me look for some rock. You know, rock and roll was originally black. Let's see, rockabilly or just rock? Let's see. Let's go for rock music and see what we have here. All right, come on, let's get your self-love lessons up. Oh, this sounds funky. Golly, this sounds so funky. Come on, let's get your self-love lesson. Let me see the self-love lesson. Profesai Papa, movement is life. I know that's right. I will replay when I get free time and I will write out my self-love lessons. Okay, cool. That's actually a really good idea to write out the self-love lessons that we learn in each video. All right. Oh, people are just getting in late. I know. It's a late video. I know it's a late video. But the people who were here, what is your self-love lesson from this? I remember back in 2007, a radio personality got exposed by his co-host for traveling to Thailand to deal with underage. Wow, to deal with little girls. It didn't end good, to say the least. Good. Okay. Oh, Shark was late too? Okay, well, you know what? I'll give my self-love lesson and then I'll jump out of here. My self-love lesson from today's video is really about... Let me turn this down a little bit more. My self-love lesson from today's video is really about being firmly rooted in my self-worth, so that even if there are people out there who are trying to convince me that I am worth whatever it is that they feel that I'm worth, that I stay rooted in my self-worth, because whatever is going to happen, the universe is going to balance itself out. There's no free ride out there. Everybody has to pay their fare. And when you are malicious, mean, all of these other things come full circle. My self-love lesson from tonight's video is about concentrating on me, doing what it is that I have to do for me, because there are a lot of people who have things going on with them that they don't want to deal with internally. So they'll project it out onto other people, project it out onto me. But for me, my self-love lesson is just to stay firmly rooted, do what I got to do, and just let the chips fall where they may. Because at the end of the look, every dog has his or her day. That's it. That's all I'll say on that. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is taking care of yourself. Not making excuses for your behavior and just acting the fool out there. Take care of yourself. Like, love yourself enough to not be out there in these illicit affairs, inviting strangers into your intimacy. But you know, that's my take on it. All right, I'll see you all in the next video.